Hello, I'm Congresswoman Candice Miller, and throughout my career in public service and as your member of the United States Congress, one of my primary advocacies has always been to protect our magnificent Great Lakes. Invasive species like the zebra mussel have been one of the greatest threats to our lakes, costing our region hundreds of millions of dollars each year and disrupting a very delicate ecosystem. But now the Great Lakes are threatened by a species that would be more damaging than any invasive that we've dealt with in the past. Over the last decade, the Asian carp has severely impacted fishing and recreational activities throughout the Mississippi River system, and now they're headed toward Lake Michigan. The various species of these Asian carp are capable of consuming a huge amount of food, and vastly they outcompete native species by disrupting the food chain within our lakes and our rivers. In recent years, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has constructed several electronic barriers in the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal for the purpose of blocking the Asian carp from reaching into Lake Michigan from the Mississippi River and then ultimately taking over the fisheries in the Great Lakes. Unfortunately, results of recent DNA tests in the canal have uncovered evidence that the carp may be north of that barrier. This leaves one lock as a remaining obstacle to the carp reaching the Great Lakes. This matter requires the fullest attention of our congressional delegation and environmental agencies as well at the federal level, state, and local level. As a member of the Subcommittee on Water Resources and the Environment, I've asked to have a hearing held on steps that we can take to prevent the entry of this dangerous invasive species coming up into the Great Lakes. And during this hearing, I hope that the committee will receive an update from those engaged in the effort to stop the Asian carp. The Corps of Engineers has engaged in an extensive fishing effort to see if they can find an actual Asian carp above that electronic barrier. And the Coast Guard has the authority to close locks between the carp and Lake Michigan. And Michigan's Attorney General is pursuing legal measures to ensure that all possible measures are being taken to prevent the Asian carp from reaching into the Great Lakes. Additionally, we need to make sure that agencies are working together on a game plan that takes whatever action is necessary to prevent additional Asian carp from circumventing the electronic barriers and reaching the Great Lakes. Finally, Michigan's congressional delegation has been working to ensure that the appropriate agencies have all the funding necessary to perform this urgent work. We've also written a number of federal agencies requesting that they take specific steps that will reduce the likelihood of Asian carp ever reaching into Lake Michigan and into our Great Lakes. These invasive species are a major concern for our waters, and again, they threaten their natural ecosystems. Electronic barriers are considered to be the single best tool to prevent the spread of the Asian carps into our Great Lakes. So we must all work together to protect our Great Lakes, and I'll certainly keep you informed on the progress that we make. I'm Congresswoman Candice Miller. Thanks for listening.